Former President Donald Trump has agreed to speak to my people at the Libertarian National Convention, marking the first time current GOP presidential candidate has spoken at this event. President Biden and presidential candidate RFK Jr. were also invited to speak. Neither have agreed to do so thus far. Chair of the National Libertarian Party, Angela McArdle, released a statement celebrating this news of Trump accepting the opportunity to speak. She said, "For 50 years, we've been trying to get our candidates on the main stage with major party POTUS candidates, and we finally succeeded in bringing one to our stage. We will do everything in our power to use this incredible opportunity to advance the message of liberty."
But not all libertarians are so excited. The reasons Liz Wolfe tweeted, quote, "He's not a libertarian. His first term was not some giant win for liberty. He shouldn't be perceived as associated with libertarianism, and this is merely an opportunity for him to bloviate and or pander. How the hell is this a win?" Now,
yes.
Liz was responding to Dave Smith, who is a comedian and big online personality. He's been one of the more conservative leaning, right-leaning voices that's been very pro-Palestine and engaging in some of the debates on the Candace Owens side of this rift that's happened in the conservative media space. He had tweeted, "I know there are some libertarians who have a severe allergy to relevance, but it is an undeniably great thing that Trump is speaking at the Libertarian Party National Convention. The former president of the United States of America and current frontrunner for that office is coming to our convention to speak to our issues and grievances. It will generate more attention on our party and the issues that we care about than we've ever had. Angela McArdle should be applauded for pulling something off that has never been done in the history of the party." What do you think?
Yeah, so there was a lot of chatter about this at my offices yesterday. Liz Wolfe works with me at Reason Magazine, is a good friend of mine, has filled in on this show for me in the past. So I deeply respect her. I respect Dave Smith too. So I don't have a problem. And now I understand people who are like, no, why would we want a non-libertarian political figure speaking at our convention? I understand that point of view. I don't have a problem with it as long as they made the invitation to Biden and RFK Jr. as well, which they did. So I actually think this is fine and could be a useful opportunity. I see the bid for greater relevancy that Angela McArdle is going for. All of that I'm fine with. However, the one aspect of this that did really trouble me, there was some branding, some merchandising, some promotional materials around this that was on the LP's website immediately after this announcement that was like Trump merchandise. It's like his haircut next to like libertarian messages that suggested like that were confusing. That if you don't know what the Libertarian Party is, that if you look, it looks like we're supporting Trump rather than dragging him into our fold. And Dave Smith agreed with me. I responded to him saying, "Yeah, I'm with you, but like, what is the deal with this merchandise?" And he was like, "Yeah, that seemed like a bad idea." And then they deleted the link to that merchandise, but still, like the National Party's X account again tweeted a like. People should, maybe I can find it, put it up on screen. It's like his haircut and it says like, "I'm in, Libertarian Party." It's just slightly confusing to me. We want to make sure, we want him to pander to us, not us pandering to him.
Well, what is the nature of this convention? Will there be
This is the nominating convention. This is where they figure out who the nominee is.
Are there opportunities to question and interview him, to press him on his positions to the extent that they don't align with the Libertarian Party's position? Or is this basically an opportunity for him to show up and make a speech?
I think he's going to be showing up and making a speech. I don't know what the logistics are. I think Angela McArdle took questions from members from Libertarians yesterday, I think on a live stream, and I think a lot of them were like, well, what will be the opportunity to ask questions? You know, it's very important to the Libertarian Party to free Julian Assange, to free Ross Ulbricht, to do a bunch of things that Trump just manifestly did not do as president. We would love to be able to ask him, are you going to do it this time? That kind of thing. You know, there's a fear because some libertarians think that the faction that took over the Libertarian Party in the last few years, the Angela McArdle, Dave Smith faction, the Mises Caucus, is too, they perceived is too pro-Trump or too amenable to Trump. So that's the fear that they have, and this plays into that fear. I think, again, not so much in him actually speaking, but in the branding. I'm going to put it in, see if we can get, if I've just put it in our planning Slack channel. People can put that branding on the screen if they can get to it. This was the fear. Now, I think, again, the faction that took over had a lot of legitimate grievances with the past people who ran the Libertarian Party. Our candidate, the cycle before that, Gary Johnson and Bill Weld, were too much in the opposite direction. We're a little too liberal to be libertarian.
Aleppo?
Well, yeah, they were not blessed with communications abilities, and then I think were not sufficiently libertarian they were too progressive, frankly. And so this faction took over to correct that, and some would say have overcorrected and gone in too much of a right-leaning direction. I think we're going to put it on screen. Can you show this now? Okay, it'll be in there. Well, you can see it on my screen.
No, I get what you're doing. I
understand
the iconography. It is interesting, the choice for Donald Trump to take it up. Do you think he is not very aware of the differences between the Libertarian Party members and himself? Is he kind of walking into this blind, do you think? Or do you think he's prepared to actually justify his departures? I'd be curious to know if there were opportunities for pushback, a debate, or some kind of Q&A session, how he would respond from a group that I think is better poised than most to ask him good, incisive questions about things like his choice to bear hug Mike Johnson as he passes through this almost $100 billion foreign aid bill, his flip-flopping on the TikTok ban, his flip-flopping on FISA Section 702. These all seem to be really core issues.
Those are so great points. All things that the Libertarian Party has correctly spoken out strongly against. When you agree when RFK Jr. deviated from some of his non-interventionist policy in terms of the Israel stuff, he got denounced by the Libertarian Party Twitter account. So these are. I'm part of this party for a reason, because I think it's a lot of principled people in search of any candidate. It's a difficult challenge because there are not a lot of libertarian inclined political leaders. So I support the project of pressuring Donald Trump to speak to our issues. Don't know if that's going to happen. I guess I don't even know if he's going to show up.
Well,
but
who's likely to be the nominee? Do we know?
There are a number of people running. There are none that are, I would say, particularly high-profile national names. Justin Amash, the only Libertarian member of Congress who left the Republican Party, became a Libertarian, is a national name, is not running. He was someone that a lot of us hoped might run.
That would be very interesting right now.
That would be great, but he is not running. Yes,
American.
I think it's unfortunate, but he's not running. One of the people I know who is running, his name is Chase Oliver. He ran in the Georgia Senate race and was derided as a spoiler candidate back when in the Warnock-Herschel-Walker race. So he has maybe a little bit of national name recognition, and he's seeking the nomination. And I'm quite a fan of him, but there are other people in the race that have good policies as well, and they're going to have a debate, and they're going to figure it out in the weeks to come. All
right, we'll keep following what Trump does or does not do at the Libertarian Nominating Conference. Stick around, we've got a lot more rising coming up for you next.